Well, here in Doha, David and myself have been having a little chat about who's going to win this, and well, I think it's fair to say neither of us would put a penny on anybody here. On paper, there was just 20 kilos between them when they set out. The difference at this moment, although it is only the halfway stage, with Andre Rode on 180 kilos, it means that there's actually 12 kilos separating Andre Rode from Klokov. So Klokov, Bratan, Tesovic should be in third place, and we had hoped by this stage in the championships those who are occupying their time doing the TV graphics would have worked out how the sport operates, but clearly they're still having a difficulty in that regard.
They don't realise that if two people lift the same weight, the lighter person wins.
I think there's a tendency to think whoever it is, that whoever gets there first has the higher position, but as we all know, that's not the case. So just running a little bit behind, we should be underway by now. They must have heard us, because we'll be out and going in hopefully not more than a couple of minutes now. And this is really open, of course. The defending champion, Assad, he's on 185, which means he's 7 kilos down. So let's having a look at it. It's quite interesting here, because Klokov at the European Championships actually clean and jerked, this was a couple of years ago, actually clean and jerked 225. And if he's in that sort of form, and he well could be, then this could be quite difficult for the defending champion to get up there.
Klokov clean and jerk 225 2 years ago.
Yep, when he was fourth in Kiev. It was a big step forward from, you know, his real junior days in 2003. Snatched 185.
So 210 kilos for the Egyptian. Remember, he snatched 182 kilos, so this would put him on 392. Likes to take his time. Looks at the clock. Wonder if he'll look again. Yes, just a crafty
Can't resist, can't resist. I think his coaches could help him with that, you know. So secures himself a total 210 for Ibrahim Morsi. $392 he's on at the moment, and he'd entered 400, so he's got a chance of getting there.
Yeah, pretty realistic.
And if you are just joining us, David Goldstrom together with David Morgan, just to emphasize that in the B group competition earlier in the day, 384 the best from Yusa Hussein Ammar of Iraq, who clean and jerk 206. So we're already past that as Andre Rode for Germany comes on. First opening lift.
210. So this will put him on 390 and put him ahead of everybody in the B group.
But he's still 2 kilos behind the Egyptian who just preceded him. Like to see him get up to well, I'd like to see him get up to 220, David. Again, that would be you know, a new competitive mark for him. Had a go at improving his snatch PB earlier on, but it didn't come off. So defending champion again, David, coming out for a conservative opener.
Well, this is very unusual. He's been up around the 230s.
But he was 227.5 when he won the world title. And we know he's clearly not the lifter he was in Vancouver.
I think this whole thing about the sort of Bulgarian, ex-Bulgarian lifters being down on their weights is very strange.
So 215 in fact. 215, 220, 225. I suppose you could say that if he goes that way,
well, maybe he's using his attempts. First one, get a total. Second one, get some kind of placing. Third one, go for it.
Well, I think the game plan just went straight out the window. Now, was that lack of focus, lack of concentration, lack of belief? Can't believe it was lack of strength.
He must be injured. Then something must have happened. He's either injured or he's not training properly.
What was his opening total down as, David?
He was down at 215, coming at exactly, and he came in at exactly that.
What I was also thinking about at that opening weight, David, was because he will have obviously seen with his coaches that nobody's run away with it, that being conservative today might pay off, because, you know, if you can win it or nick it without having to push yourself to the absolute limit, well, so much the better. It's not a day for records. Nobody's going to get to the standard. Well, I'd be very surprised to see anybody cleaning and jerking 242 kilos.
Not going to happen today. There's 2 looks at the clock. Is he going to sneak one more in where he just...
Oh, the eyes.
Just the eyes.
The eyes, yeah. The eyes have it. Well, he's a strong boy. I just think that, you know, the whole thing's a bit sort of rough. Do you know what I mean? I think
he's not the best technician in the world.
No, I think the coaches have actually got some really good talent to work with here, but they need to. It's not harmonised. Well, this is a big moment, because if he fails this, David, the title is gone. Whatever. No, this is.
He's got to be injured.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that we don't know about. Because I was surprised he was coming in this low. I thought he was just doing it just to.
No, I think that's
total on the board, and
I think you just saw there was. I don't think we're going to see him again, and I can't see any point, to be honest, either. I mean, the total will be a token. 215. What's that going to give him? 300.
400.
400. Sorry. Good enough for a medal?
Probably not. In fact, very unlikely in this field.
There's the man of the moment, Klokhov of Russia. Just beginning his warm-up. Here's Andrei Rode already with 210, safely achieved. The other of the Russians, Lapikov.
Yes, being coached and being helped by the physio, actually. Brody there, Domjano.
So it's all so tight.
So So 190. No, sorry, 180.
Clock off.
A nice easy warm up for him.
Well, there's quite a bit of and the reason we've been waiting is confirmation that Saeed Asad Saif has retired. And it means that we can now definitely say that we will have a new world champion. Bad luck, it happens.
Yeah, it's a shame that it was in his home country, because he was adopted country. Yeah, because he's definitely capable.
Mind you, there's another opportunity for the Qatar fans tomorrow when they've got Jabba, who arguably is one of their best chances, up against Hossein Rezazadeh.
Oh, no. Hate it when that happens. Done all the work.
Interestingly, tomorrow in the super heavyweights, which by the way started at exactly the same time, the last championship category for 2005, Jabba of Qatar entered a total of 450, Skerbatis of Latvia 450, wily old competitor is Skerbatis, and of course the double Olympic champion Hossein Rezazadeh from Iran. So three men with, three men who've entered a total of 450. So that should be a fun finale, remembering that Rezazadeh's world championship best is 472. Well, the reason that we have all these delays at the moment is that there's a lot of decision making going on, and this 1 kilo rule, it does have this effect. You go up by one, then the next man goes up by one. Bratan of Moldavia, 190, silver medal position at the moment. So it's Lapikov to go again. And basically, David needs to finish it off.
We did all the work and then just didn't stand still with his feet in line and wait for the signal. Relaxed before it was over. Now, don't relax. Good man.
But the problem is, David, 217, he probably would have been at least 220 the next time. Now he's got a decision to make.
Well, it'll be a costly, definitely be a costly failure, because this is it's just so close. Everything is close. You can't afford to give away your attempts.
I think he's got to go for 222. He's got to go for another 5 kilos next time round.
Well, he snatched 185, so I think he'll just sit and watch and see what's necessary. It's not likely he's going to win.
Robert de Leja. Now he's likely to enjoy this a hell of a lot more than he enjoys the snatch phase. It's really funny about the two brothers. His brother's much more effective in the snatch. This man's much better at the clean and jerk.
Yep, good lift. So 218 for Delega.
Unfortunately, only carrying 182 kilos forward, like Andre here, only carrying 180 kilos forward, so they have a big disadvantage. However good they are in this second phase, they're just too far off the pace. I'm very confident he's going to get this.
Yeah?
Very confident.
I'd say it was a
press
out, but he might get away with it because he was able to hold the hands. I think he kind of knew, but he went for. He's so strong. He actually held that on bent arms for a while. But he was spotted. So I think he's probably going to take that again, or maybe he'll.
Well, he's given 3 whites.
No, it's no lift.
No, Andre was given 3 whites. There's no overrule.
No, well, I heard the announcer say no lift.
Well, let's wait and see. Because the graphic certainly confirmed it as a good lift.
Oh, right. Well, that's it then.
The jury have to overrule. You see, what I would have thought was they would have stopped this man lifting.
Well, no, it would just be no lift. This man's on his 3rd attempt.
Yeah.
Brody's on his 3rd attempt, so this man would come out first. Now, come on. Let's check the clock out. Good. Oh, yeah, one more.
Well, I'm glad he can smile. But he is a strong boy. There's no question about it.
So, 2:19. And that's 5 out of 6.
Yeah, so 401. Yep, 401, and
so the only failure was that second snatch on 182. So pretty good day's lifting for him.
Yeah, he lifted it actually here earlier in the season in June, total up 391. So that's pretty good. 6 kilos up, and president of the International Olympic Committee next to Dr. Thomas Ayan, Dr. Jacques Rogge, here for the men's super heavyweight class. And if you'd like to pass by us, we'll certainly have a chocolate.
Or 2.
It's of course the centenary year of the International Weightlifting Federation. Now Bratin to open up on 220.
Yes, we'll put him on 410 and give him the lead for now, because remember he had that that silver medal in the snatch with 190.
What's clock off posted as his opening weight?
222.
So it's very tight.
That's good.
So, Dr. Rogge enjoying that.
So there should be quite a few athletes at this weight, if the start list is anything to go by.
And it could well be that whoever wins this will have the honour of being presented with their gold medal by, in fact, the president of the International Olympic Committee. It's the sort of honour that's usually afforded on such occasions. Now Martin Tesovic. Now, very important. He's not out of this, you know. If he could get this first one in. Okay, he's 5 kilos behind, clock off, but that is possible. Looking a bit heavy though on the shoulders.
They look to be a bit
windpipe.
Yeah, a bit dizzy.
Yeah.
And I've seen him do this on several occasions with big cleans. So I didn't really want to give that away, but
no, but it's costly failure. So, Valentin Donleja with 104.46, Andre Rode 104.04. So actually Rode should be ahead of Donleja because he's lighter in body weight, but I think ad nauseam we've gone through these points. It's just very frustrating that they get the order consistently so wrong.
Having the wrong graphic. I can't believe that no one has told them.
It's a bit like being down at the Odeon and the Gaumont, isn't it, with the food coming around at the halfway. Ah, those were the days. Little popcorn and in the cinema. Yes. Mind you, the atmosphere of a multiplex, even that might actually help. It was a little more intimate and dramatic with the lighting and everything. Now Naniev for Azerbaijan, first attempt. Now he ended up on 187, didn't
187.
he?
I'm sure he's gone to 221. Well, I think he'll be lucky to get
that. Yeah, I mean, I can't. There's a definite press out there on that right arm.
He's coming in extremely heavy, and I think he's got a
good lift.
Well, I can't see that that's a good lift.
Come on, that has to be silly.
I think it's going to be reversed.
I mean, really.
Yeah, bad refereeing. Which is why, again, I say it every time, they've just got to get rid of the press out rule.
Just have a look at this. Have a look at this right arm.
They just can't. It's not as obvious there.
No,
you need to sit from the run, but they can't referee it. I think we're going to have to write
his feet his feet are in line there.
I think we're going to have to write, and it went off the platform. We're going to have to write a little.
I mean, the bar is supposed to stay on the platform.
Well, actually, it
can roll off. But he's got to stay on the
platform. But certainly, that was for my money, that was a no lift. So I think we need to write a little memo about the press out ruling. It doesn't seem to be possible to be consistent on it. That's good. So 221 for Donleja.
Still, of course, clock off. And no news at the moment about Vyšniauskas. What's Vyšniauskas? What did he post to?
Well, he's got 225 down, and I think he'll probably come in at 225 as well, because
I think he's got to.
There's a medal at stake. Why not go for it?
So Tesovic goes to 221, failed at 220, but just puts an extra kilo on.
Yes, I think that was more for a
extra
so
time.
He didn't have to follow himself than anything else.
better clean. Not quite so close to the windpipe either. And secures his total. So that's 398 that he's on at the moment.
221 kilos still on the bar. And this is for the
But a costly first failure, because now all he can do, well, he could just sit back again and just watch them wait and then decide to take one lift that would either give him a clean and jerk medal or maybe a overall bronze. But remember, of course, he has got the bronze from the snatch phase, so he has got something of a consolation. Now this is interesting for Andre Rode. He is being pushed, and he is pushing himself here. Naniev with that 221, which neither of us believe. But in fact, it's Dmitry Klokov, the half-time leader, 222.
It's coming in exactly where he said he would.
And if he lifts this, he really does establish himself as the man to catch.
So this would put him on 4:14.
Well, strong split, and
We had to work at it.
yeah, but it was good. It wasn't in doubt. It was well executed. So 412,
4:14.
414. Yeah, sorry, forgot about the 2 from the snatch phase. The advantage, 414. It's going to be difficult to catch now. So 222 for Andre Rode. Now, by my reckoning, David, this is a new PB.
Yes, I think he's cleaned more, but I don't think he's actually managed the full clean and jerk.
So
well, he's light. He's 104.04, so this would put him into the lead on the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
And put him on 4:02.
Indeed it would. But we think he was quite lucky, don't we, in the second phase with the arms last time. Is he going to be as fortunate this time? No.
I still think still think it was a no lift, but time will tell.
So he's left on 398. 398. Well, what can I tell you? In the World Championships in Vancouver, the last World Championships, of course, he totaled 395. In the Olympic Games, he totaled 395. In the European Championships this year, he totaled 397.5. So, by half a kilo, he's still better than any time before. Had he got, though, the last 2 pressure lifts, the 183 with the snatch and the 222, that would have made a huge difference to his personal best. So 3 kilo increase for Bratin. Now this is where it becomes a little bit more interesting, because this would take back 1 of the kilos that he's behind, because he was 2 kilos behind at the halfway stage. He got 190 to Klokov's 192. Klokov's just done 222. He's now going for 223. But in any case, Klokov is the lighter of the pair. But nonetheless, at this particular stage, it would reduce the margin between the 2 men to a single kilo. So, Moldavia versus Russia at the moment. will of course put him into the lead in the clean and jerk. And that'll do for me.
Have to agree with you. Good lift. So 4:13, and as you say, just 1 kilo behind the Russian.
And it's all going to be, isn't it, on this last clean and jerk. And you've got the experience of the Moldavian, 4th in the Olympics, 3rd in Europe at senior levels. He's been 4th in the world, far more experienced than Klokov, who is the junior, the rising star for Russia. And so will experience count when it comes to the very last attempt. So now Naniev, 2:23. Now I wasn't convinced by the 2:21, but he got away with it. So 2:23, this is going to put him exactly onto 4:10.
That's correct.
So not completely out of it, providing he makes this.
Stop.
No. And I think that's what we expected.
Now remember, we're on 2:23, and I must also remind you that Ramūnas Vyšniauskas of Lithuania hasn't even appeared. Now if he is going to appear, it's got to be pretty soon, David, but he could come in here and steal the individual gold medal.
So, last card.
Now this would put him on to 4:08. Needs to stand still. Just about. But 4:08 is where he was in Europe this year when he finished just outside the overall medals. So 2:23. Actually goes into the lead in the clean and jerk because of his lighter body weight. They've placed him second again, but he weighed in at 104.08. Bratin on 104.96. So Bratin is actually in silver medal for the clean and jerk, and Lapikov at the moment in with a chance of a medal. And again, I have to say those body weights, they're just not clear, and they've made another mistake. Well, Lapikov, all he can do is just that. Sit there, watch and wait. But the Russians with two talented men now. Naniev, 2:24. Well, look at the problems he had on 2:23, David. 2:24. So this is for 411. And this is to get ahead in the clean and jerk, which he obviously would do. We could have a situation here where everybody could lift out. The championship could be decided, and Vyšniauskas then comes in to decide the clean and jerk, which would be most unusual, but it could happen. But no news from backstage as to whether he will or won't. Surely not, David. What do you think? This will have to be no. It was never going to happen.
No, the 2:21 was down. I mean, he was lucky to get that, really.
Yeah, I think he was. So he's left on 4:08. Yeah.
He's heavier than the And the Russian.
Yeah, the Russian 104.66. So I suppose you could say Lapikov breathes a sigh of relief. So now,
coming in right where he said.
I'm now going to show you boys what might have happened
had I made a snatch.
Yeah. And I tell you what, if he walks away with this clean and jerk, is he going to be so mad at himself? What might have been, if only. 225, pick it up, lead in the clean and jerk. Weighed in at 102 kilos, the lightest in the class. This year's European bronze medalist. Clean and jerk 227.5. Brings it forward.
He does look a bit like the pub landlord, doesn't he? You're all beautiful people.
Well, he's a bit more like your pub landlord than
no, the comedian, the pub landlord.
I was going to say, it must be your pub landlord, not my pub landlord. My pub landlord's nothing like that. Mind you, I suppose if you had someone like him, he'd be in charge of making sure there wasn't too much binge drinking.
And you'd be out on time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. Well, he knows he's got a medal. Probably it's going to be the gold, but
well,
it's not over yet.
Not over yet.
No. Now Tesovic. Is this 225?
Yep.
So this would be 415.
Yes, you can't win.
Well, it puts him. Remember, it puts him a kilo ahead of Klokov, doesn't it? Because Klokov's on 414 with a lift to come. With
no,
two
it's
lifts
not 415.
Is it not 415?
No, he snatched 87. So.
Oh right.
It's 412. Puts him into second, providing he makes it, of course.
That's the best of the day.
Yes, and he's really lifted well today. It's the best we've seen him for a long time.
So 412. Got my columns mixed up here. So what have we got? We got Bratan, who's on 413. We've got Klokov, who's on 414. Tesovic, who's now gone into overall bronze with that, 412. Lapikov has lifted out. Wisnauskas can't affect the overall. But, of course, that 225 of Tesovic only puts him into second place in the clean and jerk because Wisnauskas is lighter. Wisnauskas is lighter than everybody. So the rest could all fail. He could end up with a gold medal without doing anything else. Now 227, 5 kilo increase. So surely, David, this is the move to try and put the whole thing to bed. To take him up to 419. Oh, it's hard. Feet are in line. Gave that absolutely everything.
From this point on, every lift is a gold medal. 227 kilograms.
And that 2:27, a new personal best. And it just shows you, David, that this man has obviously had problems, because we haven't seen him since really 2004 in the European Championships in Kiev. That was the last time when he totaled up 4:10. So the promise was there, but this is the deliverance. So 419 kilos. And here's Robert Deleja trying to get involved here in the clean and jerk. Now, Deleja 104.46, clock off 104.67, so this is to go into the lead in the clean and jerk. No, it's not.
We've seen him do that before. We've seen him just pull on the weight, so didn't believe, and his competition is over. So he ends up on 4:03.
So at this particular moment, the man who leads, Dmitry Klokov, on 4:19. We've got Alexander Bratin still with an effort to come on 4:13, but he is heavier. So that would mean that he had to take 7 kilos more, which means he's got to go for 2:30, Bratin. Now, I can't find Bratin ever lifting 2:30, 2:25, yes. Klokov's got one more. Vishnauskas, because Klokov has gone to 2:27 and got it, he must come out again to try and get the gold medal. Here he is. I can see what the guy. I mean, he's an absolute handful, isn't he? I mean, if he's in a particular mood, you just wouldn't be able to deal with him.
You have to work here. Nice to see him get a consolation prize, though.
Oh no! He's got another attempt. Or is he going to call it a day?
Well, he's limping, so I think if I was him, I'd be inclined to call it a day.
Well, he's on 2:25, which still 2:25. He still leaves him in silver medal position at this moment. But Bratin, that's the man. Now, 2:30, David, that's what I reckon. He's got to take 2:30 to get up there and get past Klokov in the overall.
Yes, 2:30 would give him the overall and the total, and it would leave Klokov having to equal him.
But he only got it. But
if he fails with 2:30, then
so if he does 2:30, then he goes a kilo ahead
on the total.
So he'd have to then Klokov would have to lift up 1 more kilo, wouldn't he? He'd have to do 2:31.
No, 2:30.
Oh yeah, he'd have to do the same lift. Absolutely, yeah.
Because he snatched 2 kilos more. Remember? I mean, he would be able to do a bit less, but you can't come down. So.
No, so he's got to do the. He'd have to do the same weight. Well, interesting tactics. 2:29. Now let me.
Is he lighter?
Well, no, not according to me.
4.06.
06. I had him as 9.6.
Ah.
Oh, so he is lighter.
So it all makes sense now.
I've had him all the way through as being.
Well, I wouldn't do. I mean, it must be.
The printing is so poor.
Yeah. So this to go into the lead by virtue of lighter body weight, but of course if he fails it, then gold goes to the Russian. If he succeeds, then the Russian's got to come out one more time.
So this for, well, this for nothing. No 419 today, which means that Dmitry Klokov is the champion. He's got one more lift if he wants it, but quite frankly, he doesn't need it. And look how expensive that failure's been, David, because it means that, you know, Martin Tesevich is the man who ends up with the overall bronze medal. And
no, no, he doesn't. Yeah, because he was three behind to it. No.
Well, he ends up with the bronze because this man has got the silver, hasn't he? Bratan's got the overall silver.
Oh yes, yeah.
And Klokov, no, he's not going to take a lift. Doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it, does he?
No.
Why bother? He's on 419.
Chances are, David, that he was all out to get that 227. I think even another kilo, you know, just the effort of the whole competition, odds against him actually lifting up another
weight. He's got
weight.
all 3 gold medals, so
yeah,
it doesn't really, it doesn't really matter.
So, very interesting competitor, from 4th in Europe back in April 2004 to 1st in the world, and ironically, the man who was just ahead of him in 2004, Alexander Bratan.
Oh, hang on a minute. We thought it was all over. This man has decided
he's going to take one more. He's going
to try and take one more to get the clean and jerk gold. Don't see it happening, but so
he's got to do it. He's got to do a 228.
He's got to do a 229 because the bar's on 229.
Oh yes, of course he has. Yeah.
So, little consolation prize.
Well, judging by his celebration when he picked up 225, goodness knows what he's going to do if he gets 229. I think he's probably going to run up to the IOC president and kiss him. No, not to be. Maybe if he could get it onto his shoulders, but it's not on his shoulders, so now we really can say it's all over. And Dmitry Klokov absolutely is the owner of all the gold medals. So there it is. So that is the silver medal. Just working this out. Yeah, it is the silver medal in the clean and jerk he's got. So something of a consolation prize. And as I said, tomorrow it is the turn of the super heavyweights and Hossein Rezazadeh from Iran. And we can only hope, David, that he's really in good form and really up for producing something special in this centenary year. But Klokov confirmed as the gold medal winner in the clean and jerk. Wisnowska's there, no snatches, so a clean and jerk silver medal as his consolation. Tesevich gets the bronze in the clean and jerk. He got the bronze in the snatch phase as well, and he is the overall bronze medalist. So not a bad day for Martin Tesevich of Slovakia. And Bratan, well, you would have thought that he was going to end up on the overall podium, and so he did. Well, you'll see it in a moment. In second place, but it's Russia, Moldavia, Slovakia, the gold, silver and bronze